Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new video here on FPL Now. Today we're going to be going over my team selection for Game Week 2 and any potential transfers that I'm going to be making. I've already made one, so I'll be breaking that down. So if you're excited for the video, drop a like down below. Leave a comment, what is your Game Week 2 team looking like? Subscribe if you're brand new, and let's get into the video. So, starting things off, in goal, we do have Henderson, who has West Ham at home. I'm not too worried about the West Ham defence, but they have just sold Anderson to Fulham, so that could have a bit of an implication for clean sheets. I don't know if they're going to be getting rid of Gay now. I don't think they would have got rid of both of their kind of best centre-backs in one transfer window. It just wouldn't have been smart. So it doesn't look like Gay is going to be going to Newcastle anytime soon. But yeah, I mean, the Anderson one was... I know there was like talks about it before kind of the season began, but I thought that was just kind of like swept under the rug. But now it's done, and yeah, Anderson has gone to Fulham. I feel like you're a little bit unlucky if you bought Anderson as well, because he's probably not going to be ready for Game Week 2. He might be, you never know, but it might be coming just a little bit too quick. So yeah, kind of bad for Anderson owners, bad for kind of Henderson owners, I guess, to an extent. They should be okay. But yeah, either way, Henderson with West Ham at home. Again, can't really do much about it. Didn't know that transfer was going to go through, but still, again, not the worst player to have in goal this week. So that's the goalkeeper. At the back, as you can see, I've already made my transfer this week, but I'll go over that in a second. But we do have Trent, who's got Brentford at home. Pedro Porro, who's got Everton at home, who is flagged. I want to talk about that a little bit as well. And I've also brought in Robinson for Kwanzaa. Now, I was a little bit worried about Kwanzaa's price dropping, you know, at some point during this week, because a lot of people were getting rid of him, and lo and behold, he did actually drop last night. It was kind of confirmed that it was going to be dropping. All of the sort of price kind of indications and stuff were saying that he was going to drop last night, so I had to make a decision. I hate making early transfers. I always say don't do it, but in this case, my back was kind of against the wall. I had to do it, because if I hadn't gotten rid of him, he's dropped to 4.4 now, and you will not be able to bring in a 4.5 mil defender unless you already had extra money in the bank. I didn't have any money in the bank, so if I didn't get rid of Kwanzaa last night, I would have only been able to downgrade him to a 4 mil defender, and there weren't really any that I was kind of like looking at. So I had to make the transfer last night, and then it was just kind of which 4.5 mil defender do I bring in. Robertson just looked the best to bring in. Obviously, the new United fullback could have been a little bit of an option as well, but they just don't really have the greatest fixtures coming up. Whereas Fulham have really nice fixtures. Obviously, they've got Leicester at home, Ipswich away, and then West Ham at home. So they've got three pretty nice fixtures, and then they've got Forest away in Game Week 6, which I don't mind playing him in at all. The Newcastle at home fixture, like it's not the best case scenario, but I could play him if I needed to. But yeah, I just feel like I had to make that transfer quickly midweek, just simply because I couldn't really afford to lose that 0.1. That is just the difference between a 4.5 mil defender and a 4 mil defender. So I had to get rid of him. So I've done that transfer. I don't think I'm going to be taking a -4 this week, but there are obviously other issues that I need to take a look at as well, which is Pedro Porro. Now, I did watch the game. I don't really know what happened. He sort of like made a run into the final third and then kind of got tackled, and then off the ball he kind of like fell over. So I'm not sure if he like rolled his ankle or something, but then it was kind of like hitting his foot into the ground. So I don't know if that was kind of like a dead leg situation or something, but I don't think you would have like fell over on your own with like a dead leg. He did make a sprint later on in the game. He obviously got subbed, but he did make a bit of a sprint later on. So I feel like if he had a rolled ankle, then he probably wouldn't have been able to do that, because he did play on a tiny bit. Again, he was hobbling the whole time, but that sprint that he made was a little bit, I guess, it was a kind of a good thing to see. So I think he'll be okay. The manager didn't say anything after the game, and I feel like he's very like Big Ange is very much like, it will tell you how it is, and I feel like he would have said that Porro's looking kind of injured or something, but he didn't say anything, so I think Porro will be fine. But obviously if he's not, I'll probably have to think about making a potential another transfer, which again is the worst thing to do. Like making a -4 in Game Week 2 is that's just terrible, and I never thought I'd be in that situation, but some things do go wrong. But either way, that is the back line at the moment: Trent, Robinson, and Porro. Hopefully Porro is fine. I think he will be. I'm not too concerned. And again, yeah, the defense is looking pretty good. All home fixtures, obviously, if Porro is okay. In midfield, we've got Diogo Jota, who's got Brentford at home, Eze, who's got West Ham at home, Nkunku, who's got Wolves away, and then Saka, who's got Villa away. So the other issue with this midfield is obviously Nkunku. They obviously have signed João Felix now. They have just lost Conor Gallagher, but I think Nkunku will play in that 10 role. I don't think Enzo Fernandez is going to play there again. I think it might have just been like a little bit of an experiment against City. So I'm not too worried about Nkunku's minutes. If he does come off early again in that Wolves game, then I will obviously have to revisit this and maybe make a potential transfer or something like that. But as of right now, I'm going to give him another week. I mean, I don't even have to play him this week. I do have Smith Rowe on the bench who's got Leicester at home, and he could be a good option just to bring in anyway, because Leicester didn't look great against Spurs until the second half. But obviously this time it's not at Leicester, you know, it's at Fulham. So yeah, I'm kind of umming and ahhing about whether to start Smith Rowe over on Nkunku. Obviously I'm going to start Jota, I'm going to start Eze, I'm going to start Saka. Unless we get like any kind of early team news at like Jota's benched, obviously I can just bring Smith Rowe in regardless. But Smith Rowe is quite a nice bench option to have, just in case anything happens with like the midfielders or the forwards. But yeah, all in all, I mean, there's not really too much I can really say about the midfield. Like I say, Nkunku is the only issue really that I am a little bit worried about, but Eze should be fine again. Should have got a goal, was ruled out. The officials did say it should have stood. Saka, even though it's Villa away, fine playing him. And then yeah, Diogo Jota looks really, really good. I mean, Darwin didn't even get on the pitch when they played Ipswich, so I'm not worried about Jota losing his spot at all. He might get like an early sub or anything, like 70th minute again or whatever, but I don't mind that. You know, Jota with 70 minutes, I'd much rather have. Again, Salah is the better option, but he's a lot more money and I just cannot afford him. So that's the midfield. And then up top, we've got Muniz, who's got Leicester at home. Haaland, who is my captain, who obviously has Ipswich at home. He's obviously going to be my captaincy. And then I've got Isak, who's got Bournemouth away. So yeah, all in all, the team looks pretty nice this week. The majority of these players have home fixtures, barring Nkunku, Saka, and Isak. And yeah, the bench is very weak. You know, we've got Ward, who's got Fulham away. He's not going to be playing. Smith Rowe, who's got Leicester at home. Obviously, that's fine. But then Ben Mee and Johnson, those two are big issues that I already have. Like, I've already got quite a few issues in my team, and it's only game week 2. Because obviously, Ben Mee, I didn't think he was like a player that might not start. I thought he was just like a definite in that Brentford defense. I know he's just coming back from injury, so I hope that that's the reason. Like, I hope he plays Liverpool and then he should be fine for Southampton, because I could really use him for Southampton, because I don't really want to play Porro against Newcastle away because it's just not the greatest fixture, and we all know how bad Spurs defense is. So being able to put Ben Mee into that team with Southampton at home would be fantastic, but I just don't know if he's going to start. You know, if he doesn't start that Liverpool game, I may have to make another defender transfer, because after that, you know, I'm not really going to be wanting to play Ben Mee, who's got City and then Spurs, both away games. After that, it'd obviously be fine. Like, I'd keep, if he was a definite starter, I'd be keeping him just for this kind of run, but it doesn't look like he's going to be the case, because obviously a lot of people are going to be bringing in Mbumo around this game week 6, because obviously that's when the fixtures get really, really good. But yeah, we'll have to see what happens with Ben Mee. I didn't really look into it. You know, he's just played like every single season. He's been a solid player for them, so I didn't even think for a second that he'd get dropped. I know, like I say, he had an injury, so I'm hoping it's just to do with that. Maybe if you're a Brentford fan in the comments, you can tell me what the situation is with him. But yeah, I was kind of shocked to see him not start that fixture. And then yeah, Johnson is another player that, you know, I wouldn't be playing this week anyway because he's got City away, but he is a player that I was certain would start, just simply because he's moved from West Ham to Ipswich to get more playing time, and you know, he started pretty much all the preseason games, I'm sure. So for him to not start the fixture, he did, I believe, come on. I think he got like 30 minutes or something like that. He got 33 minutes, but yeah, I don't know, man. It's a little bit worrying, but yeah, the bench definitely needs some work, and the defense needs some work as well. Obviously, Trent and Robertson are fine for like the next few weeks, and again, we've only got up until game week 3, and then we've got the international break. So I'd like to go into that with 2 transfers, but again, don't know what the team's going to be like. Like, if Nkunku gets like subbed at like half time or 50th minute or something, then he's going to be an issue that I need to get rid of. And I mean, I can play Smith Rowe over Nkunku. That's why I've gone with Smith Rowe, just in case I had any problems in midfield. But then if Diogo Jota starts getting benched, it's another issue. So that's how the team's looking like. Again, we can quickly go over the transfers, but there's not really a lot to talk about. Like I said, I've already made my free transfer this week. I've got nothing in the bank, and there's not really any other transfer I'd make this week. The only way I would potentially do a -4 is if Porro's like definitely out. But even if Porro's definitely out, I'd probably just, I don't think it'd be worth a -4 to bring it like a different player, because there's not really, unless it was somebody like, maybe I'd take a -4 for like Ruben Diaz or something like that for City, who obviously has Ipswich at home this week, because you'd like to think you're guaranteed a clean sheet in that situation, so it'd probably get me 2 points, and then I'd have Diaz for West Ham and Brentford. and I wouldn't have to worry about Porro for Newcastle and Arsenal, because I'd kind of like to get rid of Porro after that anyway, so maybe it'd be smarter just to bring Diaz in early and just have him for the Ipswich game as well. So I'll only do that if Porro's like guaranteed to be out, because then I'll only have Robinson and Trent, and then I'll have Ben Mee, who's probably going to get benched, and even if he doesn't get benched, he's got Liverpool away, and then Johnson, even if he doesn't get benched, he's got City away. So it actually might be worth the -4, which again, I kind of wanted to go quite far into the season without taking a hit, but you know, sometimes this just happens. Like the Kwanzaa benching wasn't, the Kwanzaa coming off at half time wasn't ideal. Ben Mee getting benched, not ideal. Johnson getting benched, not ideal. Porro getting injured, not ideal. So all of that's going on, so we'll have to wait and see, but that's kind of where my head's at the moment. I'll see what happens. We'll hopefully get some early team news anyway for certain players like Smith Rowe and stuff, and see if he's going to start, which I think he will start against Leicester anyway, and then obviously I could potentially play him over on Kunku. I mean, we might even get early team news for other teams as well, which I would like, but I think United is the early kickoff this week, so we'll probably get team news for that. But either way, that's what the team's looking like right now. Let me know your thoughts on what you think I should probably do with like Porro and stuff. You think I should just leave it like this, or do you think if he is out, do you think I should take the -4? Let me know your thoughts on your team as well. If you enjoy, drop a like. Let's try and hit 50. Leave a comment, subscribe if you're brand new, ring the notification bell for daily, well, near enough daily FPL content. We'll obviously be doing our deadline stream on Saturday morning, but thank you for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and until next time, peace.